Yes.
No, wait, hold
No,
on. Hold these questions. These are good questions.
Hold
them.
on, baby.
We are? Oh, shit.
How y'all doing?
Oh, okay. Let's get some claps up in here. What's going on? We back, baby. Season 3 of KOTV. Keep clapping it up. Keep clapping it up. Season 3 of KOTV. Welcome to the Kollective Podcast. I am your humble host, Buddha Benavelza, aka The Real Square, here with some new people because the old people are not here. Why are the old people not here? Because niggas. Let's just leave it at that. Just because niggas gonna be niggas. No, but Guns couldn't be here because of work, and then Zay is not here because he is bedridden. Get well, get well, Zay. But don't fret. I got two more people here that you are about to meet. They are new to the cast. To my right, we have the one and only Ish.
What's good?
Give him something. Oh, you gotta speak it to the mic too, bro.
All right. Yeah, my name Ish. Born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
He not giving He ain't giving it up. He ain't giving it up the way I need to.
Right,
this is Ish, comic book extraordinaire. I had him on here because he is the one that I really feel like can delve into all things comics. I mean, we do have Guns on here, but like he is so much more detailed and so much more into it. And on top of that, the nigga collects it. So
yes, I do. I have over $500 worth of comic books in my car right now. I just didn't feel like bringing the box
in his car.
In my car. I just did not feel like bringing
the box.
You know
where we are right now.
Yes, I know. We on Sherman.
He was trying to give me. Yeah, this is a safe. Sherman Phoenix is a safe space. Absolutely.
But I want to say, when it comes to comics, call me.
That's all you tell me.
Whatever you need. Sometimes I'll be blanking out because I got a long library and stuff that over the years it take a lot. Yeah. But anything referring to comics, I'm your boy. It don't matter what it is.
You can catch him on PSN real quick.
Y'all PSN. Know what I'm saying? Renegade Speed 500.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? Twitch Speed 24. No, it's 24 Speed. You can find me on there. I'm about to start streaming. You know what I'm saying? I still haven't beat Elden Ring yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to get. I need to get a crew for that.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you ever beat Elden Ring?
Nigga, wicked ain't the word.
It get real wicked.
Shit's crazy.
It's disrespectful.
And now to my left here, I have my girl here, Jules.
What it
do? She ain't gonna. She kind of. They act a little modest when they get to talking about themselves.
Modest.
But let me tell you something serious about Jules. First off, I've known Jules damn near all my goddamn life. She's been a pivotal part in my life when it came to like gaming and manga and honestly with music. I always stress music because I don't know anybody that loves that type of genre as much as you. Like we can actually talk about it. Like just the
Near Automata soundtrack that I watched to.
Yeah, of course. Come on, you know.
Oh, the fashion show I just did yesterday, and it was 2B, and I walked to her.
Yeah, and I missed it.
They didn't get my video.
They didn't get you, but not only that, she is actually a game designer as well.
Very talented. Very talented.
Oh, Tom, you didn't know that, huh?
Very talented.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am working on an episodic series, saga. So much like how the Final Fantasies have their own series going, but step for all of mine do connect. It's generational based. So you start off the game with the prelude, basically the past, and you move into the first game, which is now playing as the parents' children, and you move forward through the other games as their children, and the whole world develops and change over each expansion. You learn different cultures, different nations, and watch how the whole story blends. It actually backtracks to the past, so things that happen in the past do become very important. So the parents that are still alive, you watch them age. They go from young adults to older, gray haired, or deaf, or they join a party.
So it's really open, definitely open world for the most part.
It's open world with light restrictions. So like I'll use the first game as an example. The prelude is very limited. It's very Final Fantasy 12, very political, very straight to the point.
Okay.
Not very high fantasy. Is very because the world didn't get fantasy yet. But because of what happens at the end of the world, it opens it up.
Oh.
And then going into book 1, the world's got fantasy creatures, there's monsters, there's new magic, there's a whole bunch of hidden agendas. You get into a lot of the lore. That's where the world really opens
I like
up.
that.
That sounds dope as hell.
I talked to Keith a while back that I was writing a story myself because
I remember you sitting there telling me about that too. I remember you sitting there talking about the story.
I let him read. I gotta let you read like the script because I based it the same way that you did. And the first part is literally lore building. Like we don't even get into like specific main characters or anything like that yet. You got to understand the world because it is going to make a big difference. And I'm glad that you do that because I always say, and this is now BB in the stand, but when it comes to One Piece, that's just what they have. Like One Piece has that world building down.
This is what made me fall in love with One Piece. Like, okay, originally I was not a One Piece fan. Don't shoot me. But it wasn't until they got to the Wano art where I was like, oh my God, I got to go back and watch it fully and give it my love and attention because they did a good job with building the world. And everybody's like, it's too long. I'm like, no, it's a reason. There's a reason to that. The more drawn out it is, you are building so much of the world and understand that this is a whole world dynamic. It's not just, oh, we're in America, just focus on America. No, we're going to the whole freaking Grand Blue for real.
Still learning shit. I personally feel a way about the whole One Piece remake. The only reason why I feel a way is because of like the small shit that makes One Piece is going to be taken away. But I am excited to see visually how stunning it's going to look. I just don't know if like I'm scared to see if it's going to compare up to One Piece now because One Piece now in their animation has been slapping.
Exactly. So that's when I saw this art. Oh my God, when he fought Lucci again. My Jesus.
Listen, I wasn't expecting that.
I was not
expecting that battle to go as crazy as it did. And he made him look like a fool. But even just the last episode, the Shanks versus Kid episode. Like
Shanks did him dirty.
Dirty as hell.
Rest in peace, Kid.
At least he went out like a G.
No, he didn't. He went out like an idiot. Like, how do you go against the same person that took your arm in the first place, thinking that you was that egotistical and do something, and he wiped you out in one swipe?
That's like Voldemort thinking he was gonna fight Harry Potter and win.
Listen. Like
you lost already once, my boy.
But since we're on the topic of shows, we're gonna go into like the show of the day or the show of the week, I should say. This segment is just that. We're just gonna talk about what everybody's either watched, played, or read for the week, or just even something that they thought about or seen that they wanted to read. So I guess I will start right out the rip. For me, it's House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon. Well, you gotta say it like Peter. You gotta say it like Peter.
Oh my God, I can hear it right now.
You can hear it.
I hear Peter right now.
I really feel like somewhere in the internet world,
I must admit, I have not watched all of House of the Dragons.
You haven't?
No, but I know.
I can't get mad at you about it, but House of the Dragon has came in with a bang. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, I won't say that the last episode was another build-up episode.
Is that Denzel Washington?
The episode before that?
Wow.
I was like, this is Game of Thrones worthy. Like, now we back.
I knew the episode before that was going to be that way by how the last 5 minutes of the one before it ended.
Yeah.
Them two talking. She realized.
She woke up. She woke up. She's like, all right. And then in that same
talk no more.
And in that same space, I felt bad for Allison because like she realized it too, and she was like, "Damn, I can't do shit." Like,
but it's the whole point. You're being oblivious to what Viserys wanted
the whole time, just so that you can get your family, your side of the family on the throne, and it didn't work in your favor.
How you? First off, y'all named y'all sons the same thing.
Oh my God,
which is crazy.
Idiot.
So it's like, how are you going to decipher what he meant? He was on his deathbed.
And now that you think about it like that,
it wasn't that she always wanted it to be that way. You gotta
yeah.
Prior to when she was
don't come on in. We got Tone on the mic.
Come on,
but you got to remember, prior to before when he was dying, she was also converting to their variation of Christianity.
So
she was already going. She already had other things in her head.
Was that with the 7, right? Is that what
it's called? Yeah.
And when you look at it from that perspective, their number one thing since the beginning of the show is it's a king's world. It's always a king. It's always
because they never want to sit there let women sit there and rule.
Right.
Because...
So the simple fact that not only is this your best friend, Okay,
Yeah.
this is a woman.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
literally allowed yourself to let men use you mentally
Yeah.
to the point that
Well-
you went against the only other two women who would have understood why this is so important. You had the power to correct all that.
And I think she was jealous of her friend, though. You know,
Of course
like,
she was.
like
She was.
Rhaenyra's had, or not, I'm sorry, not
He's
Right.
Rhaenyra.
We're just
Rhaenyra
gonna
You
up.
better than me.
Ray
I
had
can't
freedom
get
and
those
you
names.
had construct.
Absolutely.
That's really all
Absolutely.
it was. You come from a military strict dad where she comes from the carefree, do what you
Carefree.
want.
Yeah, her dad literally let her do
Live,
everything
breathe,
for the
move.
most part. For the
Yeah.
most part,
Yeah.
like if he really wanted to, like, have her on the throne, I think, like what she said, he should have taught her how to use a sword and things like that. I think he was kind of like dangling it in her face, just like he
Yeah.
kind of did it to her,
But
to
you
her,
gotta-
to his brother. But
you
but
gotta
she was more open to at least
Yeah.
experiencing that than Allison would ever could.
I
be.
think she would have learned how to use the sword like she wished her dad would have taught her if she would have got the throne. Because
Yeah.
she would have never
Mhm.
had to physically do all of this because everybody would have been on her side and she would
Absolutely.
have had
You're
a
right.
full team full of people who do all the work for her. So
And-
from her dad's perspective, you didn't need to learn how to do it because I'm giving you a kingdom that would do it on
Yeah.
your behalf.
But that's the
also,
difference
they just,
from-
And also, they just came from a whole time period where it was just peace. It
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
no
it.
It
beef
wasn't no
and
war. Like
nothing.
nobody
That's
beat.
So it was like it was no need for her to know that because
She didn't need to
She
know that
didn't
everybody
know
was from
though, 'cause
63rd.
they
Well, then
didn't
that's
know it, though.
probably goes to that point. He probably felt there's no need for you to be on the throne either.
True.
But at the same time, he literally on his last energy, he came out to sit there and tell people like she's the next one.
Yeah, he did. That's true.
He literally is about to like his energy. He was about to cut somebody's head
Bro.
off for calling her a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My guy was out here looking like a marble zombie.
Yes, and he literally
Listen.
gave his
Bro,
last
zombie is
energy to
wild.
tell the realm,
But
my daughter is the next one. So how could you go against that? Because
she didn't. They first off the whole house Song of Ice and Fire thing she did, or Allison had no idea about.
that, yeah.
But like even outside of that, like I just feel so bad for Allison because it's just everything is plummeting.
Yeah.
She has no-
around her.
yeah.
She has
Her
no control.
son.
And she looked like the whore that everybody was talking.
Yeah.
She was talking to her friend because
Not
Christian
proving the
cult,
kingdom
like,
right.
come on.
Yeah, like
man.
and then he broke his oath to sit there and do
It's
all
just
this.
it's just
like,
a
Like,
shambles.
and
dude.
that's the thing about Christian that pisses me off. I want him to die before.
Me
the season's over.
too.
And the
Me
reason why I
too.
want him to die is you sat here and you joined Allison's side all because
Out of spite for
Yeah,
out
Ryan.
of
Spite for
Araya,
Rhaenyra.
and you turned around and literally started doing the same thing with her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like both of y'all are literally doing everything that you despise Ray
Yeah.
for doing to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I want him dead. I want him dead in the
Yeah.
water.
I
want
will
him to-
say
And then it's the thing, if it wasn't for him, that whole blood and cheese ordeal would have never
no,
happened.
not at all. But
My
like
God.
I will say, and this is now me. Well, fuck it.
We hear
Aemon
that.
deserves the throne at this
Yes.
point.
And he
Aemon
knows
deserves the
Valyrian.
throne.
And he know. And he
Okay.
can,
He's a
can read the
horrible.
Song of
I
Ice-
would like
Now.
morally no, but logically he
Yes.
needs to be on that
Fun
throne.
Fun fact. So they're changing how they're doing things compared
Yeah.
to the book.
My roommate said the same
Yeah,
thing.
they're,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing
There's a
things.
twist.
So when people tell you, well, in the book this happened, it fucking doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
It
don't
doesn't.
matter.
It
Yeah, don't
doesn't.
matter.
But the thing about it is in the book though, he's the only one that outlives all of this.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yup.
But it makes sense though.
Yep.
He's the
It makes
only
sense.
one.
Damon and everything.
And
He
it's
did- I live
literally
all of
and
it.
So I haven't
it's
watched the
crazy
show, but I
part
read the
is,
books.
He
Yeah.
lives
Yeah.
he lives
I
by
was a book
mere
nerd.
luck.
Well, I
Yeah.
believe that.
He lives by mere luck.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of luck, the king should have burnt it to a crisp.
Yes,
At
but
that
he,
moment, I'm kind of pissed.
Burn the king.
But at the same time, I will say it makes sense because the lesson wouldn't stick that Allison gave him as much as it does
No.
now.
Once again,
you weren't the
once
king.
again, fuck Christian Cole.
Yes.
Because he had the opportunity to off that little ungrateful bastard
Mhm.
who right in there. You didn't notice that when he died, when the dragon was right there
Yeah.
and he was burnt to a crisp. Aemon was over him with the dagger to getting ready to
Yeah.
stab him.
Right.
He was going to kill him right then and there. Cole came over the hill and seen him standing there. That's the only reason why he
Oh,
didn't
that's
kill
what
him.
you mean. That's
Yeah.
so he cock blocked basically the situation.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do
Yeah,
agree with
even
that.
though he got the throne because he could have really
He could have just
stood
Damon
up.
or Aemon was there for
Yeah.
for a reason, for sure. Like he had intentions on taking him out,
bro. That
and
triple
Christian
threat
got in the way of that.
That triple threat dragon
It's
fight,
always
that
Christian.
was
Hard
fucking
as
epic. Because,
crazy.
like, bro, he
Crazy.
tried to kill his own
Yes,
brother.
his own brother. Like
He was going for dog.
like, bro, and then it's the whole thing with Vagar, because one didn't. Vagar sat there and killed I forgot who. Then he killed Rhaena's son, right?
Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
all this. That's how this really all started.
Yeah.
Was when he killed his son.
So now he a kinslayer now.
Yeah.
And that's one thing she tried to avoid, because they know the whole curse of being a kinslayer. That's going to basically curse y'all for years after that.
Yeah.
So I forgot. Did they say a previous king killed his a family member? Where he was basically cursed for life.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's why the whole their whole bloodline from there on out is cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace to Rhaenyra.
She didn't deserve that, but
She didn't
did go out
deserve
and
that.
deserve
But
that.
I knew something, like I kept looking like somebody's gonna die. It has to.
Don't
be.
you
It's
just
Jamie
love,
Lee.
you know?
She was gonna
Yeah.
go, though. She knew she was gonna go.
She went out like a Cheeto.
She's like, I'm finna go out. I'm finna
It
go out like
was
a
And she
G.
went out with her baby. She went out with her baby.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. So in the books,
But
what
it's
they
like-
say was gonna happen to the dragon now.
I've been watching the memes, and it does like I get how and why all that happened, but like it was a stupid thought. It was a stupid tactic on her end, because it's like you really not looking for this big ass dragon.
No, oh yeah.
You really
Right.
weren't looking for this
Yeah.
big ass dragon
And
for him to sneak up on you. Like,
Vagar
and
big as a
Vagar
bitch.
has, if you remember, that's his tactic. Like
Yeah,
he
he
comes
sneak
from under
Mm-hmm.
and will get you, and that's exactly what happened to both the
Yeah, the
son
boys. Yeah.
and her. I'm like, you
But
didn't
that's
catch on. to none
also
of that.
why.
Like, how did you not
he-
realize this
he-
pattern?
You got one of the biggest dragons, so you are always going to be a threat. And then you're also
Well-
an angry, spiteful dude.
Well, on top of that too, I read somewhere that like, and I don't know how true this is, but like outside of dragons just being dragons, like they all have like let's call it an attribute to each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like that might just be like his thing, come up from up under you and just be big as fuck.
Yeah.
Because his scales and shit like that was strong. Remember when she was trying to scratch him out, she really couldn't get to him like that.
Yep.
And
They all
that's
got-
her thing. You
That's
know?
why each dragon is the way they are. But I love how the last episode ended, because Son was like, yo, we got more family and we got more dragons. So all we gotta do is get the family with their dragon.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about that, moms? She was like, I see why you my favorite.
Mhm.
And that's how the episode ended, and I love that for that.
I'm glad that she finally like relied on that too. You know?
Yeah, because the
like,
son, I ain't gonna lie, the son was out here networking.
He's
Listen.
actually a great. If you pay attention, he can be a great king.
Absolutely,
he has
absolutely.
that mentality to.
He could be.
I don't want war, but if I gotta have war,
Yeah.
I know how to have it right.
He going to the outlet. He going
Right.
to
Yeah.
the far people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we bringing everybody.
he's taking
in.
this series on even on the strength of him losing his brother. Like
Yeah.
that. Like I think he probably takes it that much more serious.
I'm about to say
Also
it's
because
extra
he was in
more.
the
It's
field
extra
too when all that
motivation.
shit happened. So
And he wanted to be out there with his
Yeah.
brother too.
yeah,
So this is gonna be interesting
it is.
Yeah.
because he's
It
the
is.
only one who's not thinking revenge.
No.
Like everybody else has revenge on their head, which is why shit's going wild. Like
If I had to put head to head, I would put him against tactic wise, I'll say.
tactical, I would put him at the table.
I would put him at the.
I wouldn't
him
put him in the
against-
field.
Really?
at the table. Okay, yeah.
I can see the table definitely.
Not the field, not yet.
I wouldn't put him in the
Not
field.
yet.
Only reason why I wouldn't put him in the field is because his you got to remember
Yeah, his
the
dragon
Greens
bigger.
have the biggest dragon right now. The
Yeah,
biggest
they
dragon
are.
for the black
I'm not
doesn't
even.
have a rider.
I'm not even going into about the dragons. Like he's not doing nothing against Aemon, just on a fight.
Yeah.
Like he's not doing anything against Aemon. So again, at the table, yes, but I will put him head to head with Aemon at the table.
Now, I got a question. When y'all think Damon gonna slime Rhaenyra out?
It's coming,
Um,
but that's got to be season 4.
I was thinking season 4. It's the later
Because
season.
it's like they build into it. They sitting there showing like, all right, that's why they make Damon and Aemon like basically
They the
parallel
same.
Yeah.
They
to
the
each
same
other.
person from different storylines.
Because it's like this. Even though Damon, he really wants to. He acting like he don't want to. He really wants to. Because you remember the visions.
I'm trying not to think about that.
him
It's
with
gonna
his
happen.
mama, that was wild.
Oh
It's
yeah,
all-
that shit was wild. Actually,
It's
it
like, even
came
if
out
he
of
didn't know her, like why?
yeah.
They gonna have
yeah.
to milk this out. It will definitely be like a season 4 situation.
They have to drag
it's
it
gonna be
out
built
because
up.
Damon's whole thing is your brother spited you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's-
was supposed to be king.
I was supposed to be king. You could have picked me. And
it's gonna be a
remember
good
in season
build up.
1, he heard him outside the door saying, like, I can't give you king because you too fucking wild.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your nephew, who is literally you, is now going to be king for the next few episodes at least. Who's fucking wild.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, he's going to look at it and be like, okay, I can see what my brother was saying, but that don't mean I still don't want what belongs to me.
So they going to follow the stereotypical trope of uncle takes out nephew.
Basically.
So it's going to be...
Takes out niece and nephew.
We don't know.
I will be surprised if Eamon takes out Damien.
No, I'd be surprised if he doesn't do it.
If Eamon doesn't take out Damien?
I think Eamon is.
I think Eamon's going to drop Damien.
I think Eamon
I think so too.
If they don't do it, I would be completely shocked.
I feel like I would, even though I don't know how they're going to go off of the book.
Right.
I wish it could be dragon fight or if actual like combat fights.
Yeah, I would take either or personally.
No. If you, because that's such a major battle, it's going to be both.
I feel like I was going that way too.
It's going to be a big battle.
And it's going to finish.
Oh, that's
on
so
the
crazy
ground.
you said that. I had that in my head.
I
Like
can't wait to
it is
see
that
it.
major
It's
for it to be
major.
both of
It
that.
has to be. It's literally the White Walker versus Jon Snow. It has
Crazy.
to be.
That's going to be
that
crazy.
That's going to break the net.
It's going to be delicious.
That's going to break the net.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
All right, we're going to go into your show of the week.
Let's
I know
get
you
ready to
excited.
rumble.
Oh, he's so excited.
Hey,
Let's do this.
We all mean that Vault Tower, man.
I'd rather not. They got a lot of things going on there.
That last episode was wild.
I'm going to say this. I have never hated a black woman before in my life.
For those that don't know.
As much as I dislike.
We talking about the
Sister
boys.
It's the boys.
We talking
and
about
I love my black
and the
women
boys are
in
wild.
all shape or form.
No shade though.
But
she gotta go. She gotta go.
She has got to go.
And she's doing
can't.
all this shit
No.
for fun. Like that's
That's
why
why
she is
irritating
bored
about it.
No,
and just causing
That's
chaos.
the irony. That's why I love her, because she clearly said, "Because I can."
Yes.
Yeah.
So I love her for that, but I hate her at the same time for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you're being messy and petty because
It's
you're
so-
bored,
yeah.
but you're doing it so well that I have to give
And
you
she's
your
so
hands
tactful
for
with
She's
it.
it.
doing it to the point that everybody doesn't realize. In the fact that nobody.
She is a
opened the
master
book.
manipulator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look.
That's where I'm at. Nobody decided.
Nobody
to look at
opened
the book.
that journal.
When you fired her, she left with no arguments and
You
left
left
the
the
book. And none of y'all decided to pick this book up.
Which is insane.
Yeah. I would have thought at least Homelander would have picked it up.
Well, no, Homelander's too egotistical to
I
even
think
think.
Homelander
Yeah.
can't read.
Yeah.
To be honest with
I
you,
wouldn't be surprised.
I
if
would
he
be
could.
surprised.
honestly,
I would be
Homelander is like
surprised.
a grown
It would
baby.
be weird to know that he's that like cunning,
Ooh.
Yeah.
you know,
If he was
vocally.
that cunning, it would be
It's-
insane.
because the reason why I feel like I don't think he can read is if you look at everything is always told to him and presented
Yeah.
to him, or he has to go off the top of the dome where
Yeah.
everybody does everything for him.
That makes
And then there was the scene where Ryan was gone and he comes into the house because the house is messy and he's cleaning up and Ryan got homework all over the table. And I'm sitting here like, when did Ryan go to school? Or
Oh,
like
he was with the mom, I thought.
right.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is like,
Or now he's with
why
Volt.
showing Ryan doing homework in a moment where it looks like nobody here cares about education unless you go to Gen V, and they only care about that for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Why
not
are
even
we emphasizing
education.
that? So I really think Homelander can't read.
I
But-
wouldn't be surprised if he could.
Wasn't Homelander a born
think-
superhero like they created him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's just Volt's poster boy.
Bro, that episode where
I
they
don't-
I'm
I'm
sorry.
no, you good. I don't know. Like I'm with you, but at the same time, I just think of this another white man's ego. Like, I don't have to.
Yeah,
I don't
it'd be-
have
Yeah.
to. I don't have
people-
to
I
read
have
this.
people-
I have
don't
everybody to do it
remember
for
this.
me.
Yeah.
I
You
can't
could
even
do it for me. Like
Privilege.
he gives all of that.
The embodiment
tier.
of privilege.
White
Yeah.
privilege with superpowers.
Top tier.
Ooh, that sounds terrible.
But I'm not. But you know, I've been waiting on a weakness from Homelander. So that I guess if that's the case, that will be something that I will look forward to. That he
Well,
just kind
No,
Yeah.
I feel like his weakness has already been shown already.
his weaknesses are there, but they're shown, but they don't seem like regular weaknesses.
Yeah.
So we're used to like kryptonite and stuff.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like
We
that
No,
being one
yeah.
of them. Like if he really
Yeah.
can't read that, I would consider that a weakness.
Okay, yeah. He has weaknesses, but they're just like
His are more emotional.
Yeah, I feel
his
like
his
yeah.
emotion,
his
his
mental,
mental is his
mental,
weak.
mental thing too. Because
Cause
it's
He's
like
Scarlet Witch.
because
he
I
be in
feel
his
like
head.
Oh yeah, I see that.
because I feel like I basically think in the boys they're all around weakness.
It's humanity.
No, it's not even that. I'm talking about like as far as the virus, the whole Sonic thing. That's their weakness technically. But I'm saying like I feel like I kind of like that they don't
Have
one.
any?
I do too.
Okay, I do. I like that they're superheroes in modern world who don't have like these crazy weaknesses like kryptonite or run too fast or something. You know, like they have other like A-Train.
Yeah, but that I feel like but then it's like technically their weaknesses is like more realistic. Like he had heart problems. Like if he said there was rent, but then wasn't that
my boy got heart problems, but he can run real fast.
Overdoing himself with V though.
Yeah,
like,
he was overdoing V, so he basically got himself sick.
Which is crazier. Dude had a drug addiction to a
superpower.
superpower.
Shit threw me all the way fuck off when she said that shit. She was like, you know what? She was like, he like home. I forgot who they tried to blame to sit there and say like, no, like Black Hawk, like you basically just like, hold on, wait, I'm blanking out. He basically was like, no, because wasn't it Victoria sitting there talking to him when he was in the hospital bed? Like, no, like. She basically trying to distract him from what actually had happened. She was like, you know what? He's so crazy. He has so much heart for you. We put his heart in you. And he was like, what? Like, bro, that's wild.
Wait, what?
So it's okay. So
this must have been on the last two episodes.
No, this was last season.
This was last season.
So for those who don't know, if you've ever heard the story of how a racist would go to a hospital and he doesn't want or certain people working on him, then you're getting ready to die. You need a whole heart transplant. You get a heart transplant or a liver or whatever, and you come to find out that it's from somebody you don't like. How do you feel about yourself? Do you take the L and die because you now have this, or do you try to sue them because you're a racist and think you're gonna win? But it was reversed. Yeah. So here's an open race there towards black people to the point that you hate him to death. I think he ended up doing something to his brother. Yeah, he hurt his brother. So now, in order for you to survive, you take the organ from the person you can't stand that killed your brother is now in your body. That's the only reason why you alive.
I wouldn't even know what I would do in that situation. And
my boy redeemed himself.
Did he?
Yes. And he went to Canada.
He ain't in Canada. He got to be somewhere else. Canada too close.
Yeah, but I felt that weird. Like so. Because I remember Homelander sit there and killed that dude. He was like, Allahu Akbar. We was the Muslim dude.
Yeah. And see, the only reason why he ran to Canada that one scene was because it was outside the Vouch transmission.
Yeah. So, they needed that.
So he needed to do that to make that phone call to them. But
it was. Yeah.
I don't think he's gone.
I would think
I don't think he's gone.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna be back next season though, for sure. But no, and then because I know you haven't seen it yet. It was something I was about to say.
Well, look, give me one more statement, and then in closing, we're gonna go into hers.
Okay. So I will say this: I honestly don't like what powers. Not but is it Butchie? Not Butcher.
Butcher.
I don't like.
Don't like what's going on with Butcher.
Yeah.
I don't like the tentacle thing. It's kind of weird.
Whoa.
Well, but I think it's like to the symbiote thing.
Yeah.
Wait, are we talking about Butcher or Marvin?
The daughter had that too.
Yeah, the daughter got it too, but hers opens her mouth. She does hers like aliens.
Yeah.
So what? He got. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Okay, well now we gotta go watch it.
Go ahead.
You'll see. He has from him doing Vito's previous seasons when he was taking on Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
He has a symbiote that lives in his body now.
That's another thing too.
I know, but I want to see where they're gonna go with that.
He's still, and then because I'm so sorry.
All right, Buddha, we gotta go watch it.
Do you think he's still going? I don't think just because he put him in a hyper chain, that don't mean he's gonna side with him.
That's why
he's still gonna be fuck you. You tried to kill.
It's the boys.
We don't know.
It's the boys. They're wild.
Handmaid's still alive. That's all I gotta say.
Well, we'll see you on the next boys. On the next
to
season.
Be continued.
We're gonna end it on that.
Lastly, I've been waiting on this motherfucker.
Dun, dun, dun,
We got Jules with the last show that she's been watching. I'm gonna let you just go ahead and take the lead.
All right. To be honest, I rewatched Solo Leveling just because I needed to set that trauma. I needed that trauma in my life, but this one has really got my attention just because of what's been floating around and people's opinions. I am doing Demon Slayer season 4.
Ooh. Damn, son.
So I'm gonna just say this.
We about to nuke this show.
I'm about to just say this. I appreciate Demon Slayer for what it's trying to do and its animation quality, but
Agreed.
Personally, the story is not that great. And
boom, 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 boom. That's the sound we need. The Price is Right when they lose.
It's somewhere on there.
I need that, cause
I think it's on there,
bro.
Right, so the story is very cliche, anime trope.
Oh,
Heroes, villains, nothing very new.
Yeah.
It's so bad for me that when it first came out, I refused to watch it. I literally skipped the first season and went straight to the movie Mugen Train. And when the fight with Akaza, my husband, love you, baby, is what got me into watching. Let me go see what this show about. Because he did my boy dirty. I was like, oh,
yeah,
hold to the chest. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was the animation. I won't lie. The animation quality is what got me into watching the show.
I mean, Face Day Night. Phase Zero, you know?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to do that, but I was like, this felt like it needed to be talked first.
Yeah.
All right, so watching Demon Slayer for the Mugen Train to season 2 to season 3 to season 4. All I have to say is season 2 was my best season so far. And it was
I will go with that.
Only because of the fights.
I will go with that. It was nothing but fights.
It was nothing but fights.
Season.
And that's what made it delicious for me. Season 3 was a disappointment for me. Up until
when you come from season 2 to season 3, I could see that. It was like up and then it went down.
And then there was no real fights in season 3.
Nah,
it was more screaming, hollering, all the splitting, and we just did the split and diversion with Baki. Not Baki.
I know you're talking about.
We just did the split and diversion. Now we got split and diversion with the other one. But when he finally turned into hatred, that's like, all right, come on, hatred, let's do this. What you got?
Because it made more sense.
It made
like
sense.
The emotions that they were splitting into didn't really make.
It didn't make sense
to the overall character, especially because at the end of the season, you know, they give you the whole flashback of like who he was before he became a demon. You didn't see any of those emotions but hatred, and you seen the hatred because of how he was treated. And it was like, damn, that's fucked up.
So I got the split because, all right, good. You got to split your humanity off to develop into hatred. You lose humanity and emotions to become hatred.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. That's why I say Demon Slayer is more about symbolism than a story.
I get I mean, I get that, but like,
it doesn't make it a good story.
I feel like the symbolism would have meshed more if we seen all of those emotions in that character before he became a demon.
Yeah. So this is where I say they missed so many points trying to cram all of that in that little ass season.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
Yeah.
So hatred, when he came in the scene, I was like, cool. I thought he was coming to fuck shit up. He did absolutely nothing.
Nope.
We got nothing but hide and go seek and running. And then we got little Miss Whiplash not do shit either. I'm like, hatred has so much potential for nothing. How we go from an epic clash with a Hashira who was poisoned?
And isn't he an upper moon?
He's a higher upper moon. He's an upper moon 4. It didn't make no sense. We had 2 higher ups. Oh my God, the other one, the Fish Naga upper moon 5. That fight,
it was better than the other one too.
He fought, but that fight was so weak.
Yeah,
dude stood in a vase for half the season and came out and just offed him.
And only one Hashira took him out.
Only one. And then you got hatred. Got what? Tanjiro.
It was 3.
It was 3 of
4.
4. It was 4.
Because it was the dude with the
You got Nezuko
with the blizzy. Nezuko.
Miss Whiplash.
I'm so sick
of her.
This is okay. Let me go in real quick. Go ahead. This is my motherfucking problem with these.
Let's go.
Everything that you said is fucking true. The animation is top tier for sure, especially when they get into them fights.
I'm gonna get into season 4 when you're done.
My problem is the power system. How they explain the power system, especially when they explain like
the Hashira,
the main Hashiras when they first came out, right? And the main like breathing techniques that they had. I love that base system, but then branching out to them, a lot of them didn't make sense. Serpent breathing does not make sense to me. Love breathing does not make sense to me. Sound I can get with, but I don't know. Thunder should have been in that, and for it to be like a side breathing, and you give that to Zenitsu, I like, but come on, like,
and it's so devastating for what it can be.
It should have been a Hashira
It should have been a
breathing
main,
a main breathing technique. Y'all just kind of like it just died out. And if it did, give us a reason why it died out, or like why
how we got wind,
learning that,
but like not lightning.
But not lightning. Like it doesn't make sense. So that irritates. The power system irritates me. The story definitely irritates me because every time we turn around, it's a flashback about this demon that we don't give a fuck about.
Oh my god!
And then we got Tanjiro's sensitive ass caring for this motherfucker every fucking time. And I get it. Again, symbolism. We get it. We understand. But it's a one. It gives one trick pony every time. The training arc was pointless.
I understand it, but it was pointless.
It was pointless.
It could have been a movie. It could have been the movie.
It could have been the movie. It could have been. Oh, and then this is my main thing about Demon Slayer. Fan service. I'm so fucking sick of fan service with Demon Slayer. Like I knew when I was reading the manga and the way that they was putting these movie / episodes out. First off, no other anime is doing what Demon Slayer is doing, and that's why people are irritated and tired of Demon Slayer because it's like y'all will give us a movie. Get us hyped for the season. The movie is in the fucking season.
It's the season.
And then we only get 3 episodes of something new after that. Like, what are we doing?
So, like this recent movie before season 4, I took somebody to go see it because they're not a Demon Slayer watcher. And I felt bad because for me, all I did was take the last episode of season 3 and the first episode of season 4 and mash it together. And they were like, this is it. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But getting into season 4, while yes, it was a waste. I get it. It's basically the chain of memories to Kingdom Hearts.
I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
What just happened?
Dog. I'm sorry.
Tom,
I'm sorry.
Look at this.
I'm
what
sorry.
did y'all
Look
just
at
do?
this.
Dude.
And then I'm gonna announce it. Listen, bro.
What did I just miss?
Joe Biden drops out of presidential race.
Oh my Jesus.
My God.
Y'all,
we are in trouble.
This is crazy.
I knew we was getting fucked, but
sorry, this
not
is
without
breaking
no
news on the
lubrication.
first episode. This shit is fucking crazy.
This is the boys come to reality.
No, seriously.
Yes, this is the boys coming to reality.
We are in trouble.
We are in
America.
trouble.
I'm about to go deport myself.
Oh my God!
Well, didn't they say a Kennedy was in the running next?
Oh,
Or maybe I got that wrong.
It's time to bring out the Negro
my
spirituals.
Go.
Yeah, let's
continue.
hear it. Go back. I'm sorry.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Whoa.
No, this was a 9/11 situation announcement.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, me too, bro.
Yeah,
I said
I'm
that or
moving
Japan.
I can't even say
They love black people in Japan.
It's time to go. So all right, Demon Slayer season 4. Yes, it was a waste. It could have been a movie. If you're gonna do 8 episodes of a season, which is completely
it's a
waste.
smack in the face.
Understandable. All of this could have been in a movie, and we could have saved our time because this is nothing but just character building.
Yeah, well, that's all it was.
Aside from the last 2 episodes, is where they get their stars, and their stars are not that huge.
Let me tell you how bad their fan service is. If you could give us an hour episode and then spend 20 minutes on Muzan on him just walking to I forgot dude's name.
I don't remember his name. I don't remember the characters' names in this anime. That's the worst
I ain't
part.
gonna hold you. I only know the main 2
I don't know.
or 3. Zenitsu. I don't even remember the boars.
And those kids are the only one I remember.
See,
because everybody love and simp over that.
Tired of y'all shit, Demon Slayer. That's just what it is.
If it wasn't Uzi, I remember the demon's name over the heroes.
And I'm not mad at them doing 3 movies because
I would take
it needs to just hurry up and be done. And then I'm sure after these 3 movies are done, they're gonna do 1 more season, and then that should be it.
Hold on, where I'm worried about how the movies are gonna go because technically the Infinity arc is not the final arc. There's something sundown, countdown, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then some other stuff. So I don't know if they're going to tie all those final arcs into the 3 movies or if they're going to milk the Infinity Castle into 3 movies.
They're going to milk I can bet money they're going to milk the Infinity Castle with 3 movies. They're going to do. Do you remember the Fate Stay Night movies that came out with the dark? The motherfuckers are good. Oh my God. But you seen how long it took for all those movies to come out? It's like 3 of them movies.
3 of those.
It took like maybe 2 years a piece for each movie.
No, I understand because the way Attack on Titan just milked the hell out of it.
Fan service. And I love Attack on Titan, but I felt the same exact way. Like, I'm like, bro, y'all could hurry up and end this shit.
They gonna milk Demon Slayer, and I'm going to allow it just because they show their quality of animation. Because Infinity... Hold on, only because Infinity Arc is going to be nothing but fighting, just like season 2.
True.
If they're going to give us
True.
season 2 and a bunch of movies with that animation quality, I will take it. If you're going to do what you did in the other seasons, it's a no.
No, there's too much. There's too much
action
going on in the Infinity Castle arc for them to like give
talk,
us.
and there better not be no background. There is, because we gotta do Akaza, we gotta do Doma. We're gonna have,
but that's about it. But and then on top of that, those are all in between battles. Like we are not gonna get any like filler anything.
There's no filler
in between.
So this is the only reason why I'm going to be okay with these movies, because it's nothing but clash, death, trauma, and I'm like, all right, give me
Ayo, Demon Slayer, fuck y'all. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
What the fuck you breathing?
It's been fuck y'all since I read the end of the manga, and y'all gave us this bullshit ass time skip
trash
about who blended families with who. I don't give a fuck about that. Give us Muzan back in the modern age, and he didn't came back or something, and now we got, like in my head, I seen Demon Slayer going into like, because again, the power system was like the biggest thing for me that it had going. So, and with all these different branches out, if you're gonna show us blended families and shit like that, then give us like different powers,
class
techniques,
system, like Bleach. They have the royal families, the nobility.
Why are we knowing about this if none of that implies?
Who the hell are these people, and why do we care about their powers?
We don't.
So with that being said, I will say that final little clash with Muzan when he said Uno reverse on everybody. I was like, I will give you that, because reading the manga, I saw how it's supposed to happen, and I was like, giving y'all animation quality, I need to see how y'all finna do this. Because if y'all don't do it right, when I heard
that was so cold, I like shit like that. They get right, animation wise, cinematography wise. Like
they own it.
The moment when dude was swinging the ball and chain, like y'all get that shit right.
They get it right.
Really do.
But
the
story
explosion was delicious too.
Listen, all of that, but like the story.
I don't care about the story anymore.
I don't care about the story anymore.
I just want to see y'all animation.
Just ready for y'all to get this done and over with. And again, y'all, if there's a thing where y'all switch up the manga, like how they were rumoring about switching up the end of Attack on Titan and all of that, if y'all give me something like that for Demon Slayer, and we get like a part 2 or even a one shot, give me a one shot of the manga in Demon Slayer where we get to see something happen with these blended fucking families that y'all just needed to tell us about. We don't give a fuck about that.
Because where does that fit into the story? At the climax.
Nothing at all.
It does nothing for the story.
We are killing the main villain here. Why do we need to know about blended families?
Oh my god!
Why was this in the first episode, first season? This first movie.
Okay, rage is done. Rage out.
All right, so that's all I gotta say on Demon Slayer. Is the animation and the fights are, I won't say top tier, but they are definitely there.
They're pretty there.
You get me there. But
real quick, what in anime? What anime do you consider top tier animation wise? Right now, for me, JJK.
Oh, it's definitely JJK. That season 2, I will watch it over and over. And then they did an HD release
with the new scenes.
When I say the shadow boxing, Maharaga and Sukuna fight was my fight. And then I would say it's up there with Solo Leveling. Ooh.
See, okay, I don't know what it is about what y'all see about Solo Leveling. I think I'm gonna leave that for when the other two get here. But Solo Leveling does.
No. It's the story is not. It's just the story is Demon Slayer for me. It's very basic.
But even the animation, like the animation is okay, but it gives me like Hunter x Hunter or.
So for me, Solo Leveling, it's really the.
I love Hunter x Hunter.
I didn't mean to hijack topics here, but Solo Leveling, it's just the first episode, or the first 2, and then that last 2.
You know what I've noticed? My brother had mentioned something to me that I think that we do now. Well, at least for myself, I'll speak for myself. But like, so I was trying to introduce him to Nier Automata, right?
My baby.
So listen, but I'm not going into it for that. But it's a reason why I mentioned that. I tried to mention that to him. He was into the story because we were playing Stellar Blade.
I love Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade, you know,
it's
influenced off of that.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you like that, then you'll like Nier. And I gave him the whole rundown and. Like, even gave him my PSN because I have it downloaded on my PSN. I'm like, bro, go in my PSN, download it on your PS5 and play it. Let me know what you think. And like maybe 3 weeks later, he got into another game. I'm like, bro, you're not even trying to play it. And he's like, bro, I'm sorry. I just been too spoiled with the graphics. He said, I know the story is everything, but like the graphics not doing enough for me. I was like, you know what? That's true.
Graphics for Nair?
Given if you're going into something like like Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade is stunning animation wise.
True.
It has
really
nothing
is.
compared honestly to Nier. But so what I say is that I think that like when it comes to solo leveling, we're spoiled by animation and good storylines. The solo leveling storyline is not all that.
It's very
animation to me. It's good. It's not all that. It's definitely not JJK. It's definitely not One Piece. It's not even Demon Slayer.
I would even give Bleach new arc.
What'd you say?
I said I'll call it Bleach new arc up there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's in my as far as animation goes, top 5.
Animation and story for Bleach. Although they got a little shaky for a while, understandable. It got a little rush, but
that's another topic
that's
when it comes
topic.
to Bleach. Bleach
Bleach still pulls through.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Obviously One Piece. JJK. I feel like I'm missing. Fate.
I would do Fate. I keep sleeping on Fate because it's like
it's a
Fate.
lot.
It's a lot of them, and then like Fate is not as consistent as like the other ones.
It's not.
Yeah, I would put Fate up there with story and animation. Honestly, I like the story of Fate.
I feel like I'm missing one.
I feel like I am Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah, Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
And that's crazy because the writer even admitted that he forgot the story plot for Attack on Titan. The whole basement was forgotten. He had to go back and write it back in.
That makes sense. It was a lot of shit that was going on that you kind of had to forget.
You had to.
Like you kind of forgot. And
but he did it so smoothly that it worked.
It did. And then before we knew it, we was in Marley.
I was
when they got to the basement, we was in Marley. I was like, oh. Then I think that was like the best thing about Attack on Titan is that they switched literally different worlds.
It went completely.
Did a whole shift in worlds.
And their shift worked.
And we all look like, well, where the fuck is Aaron at? 70 issues later, he come in with bandages and a leg broke or a leg chopped off, missing and shit.
Looking
like, what the fuck happened?
Looking like some retired rock star.
Oh, you set this shit. Oh, Attack on Titan is back.
He did a good job.
He did an awesome.
Some people bash Attack on Titan like you must not watch the whole thing because
I think that people just need to like really engage into story.
And I'll give it. That's the other part. I think a lot of people when it comes to anime they don't invest in story. It's all about.
I think it's just all about
action.
I think it's just in general like when it can be said for live action, it can be said for like DC show like animated shows, anime, even video games.
Yep.
Like again, my brother just literally and you know how Nier goes.
Oh my god!
Like that's
there's a reason that game got so many awards. It got an anime. It's getting notarized.
To this day,
cameos
so many different
everywhere.
Spin-offs. Like it's a reason that Nier Automata is one of the best stories.
Ain't she in Soul Calibur? She in Soul Calibur, ain't she?
Yes, like exactly. Like and it's not even just it's fan service. But
she's in Final Fantasy 14.
All of that.
She got her own raid.
It's not just fan service. Like the story. All of it is there for a reason. So I stress that out to say that like a lot of people, even myself, get spoiled by certain things that we don't get into the meat and potatoes of certain things. But I also of certain shows and things like that. But I also know for me, like I know I go into it with the mindset of storytelling because like that's why I don't like Demon Slayer. Like Demon Slayer's story is garbage. I love the animation, but I
need story.
I can miss it like and not feel away about it. Even with My Hero, I have not even watched the last 4
My Hero is my originally my One Piece where I didn't watch it and I skipped to certain action parts because the story bored me enough that
slow moving.
And I had to go back.
Even this battle, like I remember it was a whole season where it was just bullshit. And I'm like, what the fuck was this?
It took me to get into the part where Sugaraki did his thing and got away.
Yeah.
To get into My Hero. So it took me that long to really start paying attention.
And then even that's what I'm saying. Like even in that whole battle is still going on. It's still going on in the manga. Like it's a long ass fucking battle. So like
it's forever.
They just need to do. I wouldn't say do better because I think they have a good formula, but like there needs to be more dynamic and open worldness when it comes to like storytelling. That's why I'm glad to know that like you kind of went off the space of building the lore first.
Yes,
because I think that people think about that mechanic in their story, but they don't think about like how massive they can make it to be implemented.
You can take a crumb and make an entire bakery.
Absolutely, if you really delve into it, and yeah, like I would love to see just more. I think that's the thing. I would love to see more world building in shows like that. If Demon Slayer That, again, same reason. You giving us this lineage
For what?
for what?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know nothing about the world. It could be demons stronger than Muzan out there, and you ain't even telling us. Why are you giving us this?
Plot
Yeah.
twist, season 15.
You know, like,
Muzan was not the king. Like what?
like what? How?
When?
Well,
How did y'all not know this?
we kept it from you.
But this is why I'm actually gonna piggyback on this. When we say story, when people were crazy over sword art, and I could not because I came from dot hat.
You know, wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait until Guns sees this because he swears that sword art is that
baby
good.
no,
It's not that good.
no. So coming
Guns,
from,
bro, it's not that good, bro.
I'm
This
sorry,
gonna be
baby.
a
Sword
debate.
Sword
when he
art
get back.
started out good. It started out good. Then we got into all these different games that we didn't even know what's going on.
No. So here's the
We-
stupid part: why you get out of a game that almost killed you and go
back into another one
multiple times.
multiple times.
Baby,
now
are you
we
okay?
on a boat. We spent, you know what I'm saying? We was on a
Are
ship
you
the whole
okay?
time. You in cryo chamber.
Are you okay?
We trying to wake you up, not only outside but inside too. Inside the game, like you. Oh, it was just so tedious for
That's
no
gonna
be a good
reason.
debate.
I'm not.
for sure.
I'm not gonna milk this, but this is why I say I'll do story. Die Hack was a very dark story
was.
focused thing.
It was.
Going into the game, it was a traumatic situation that you would never want to go back into.
Yeah.
So when a story started, and then it still has symbolism, it had a whole in-depth thing, and you got out of it, and it was the end of the story. You, Kiriko, or whatever your name is, decided
I'm second. Oh my god.
decided I'm finna live in this world. I'm finna make it my world. I'm finna live and adapt. I'm finna have a little family. And I'm finna get out of it. And I'm finna go back into it multiple different times.
But not even that. I'll bring it back a little bit, and then we'll I'll close it and we'll go on to the next
That's
topic.
my
But
piece.
even outside of that, like I liked all of that because it made it believable. If you can't get out this world, then yeah, I'm okay with you finding this wife,
Yeah.
building this family. But and then okay, you get out,
Because like
but then
Sukasa
it's
did
like
it.
it makes it feel like the whole thing was just play.
It was just play. He was in the
just play.
playground.
But mind you, you can die in this goddamn game for real. For
right.
real.
Like you could literally die.
You can
my
literally
guy.
die in this game. So when
No
you
cheat
come out,
codes.
y'all act like y'all just friends, and it was just a MMO that we were just playing. Like,
My God,
that
didn't you just
whole
trying to
thing
kill
was
me?
like, what? So y'all really not like I would have even the love that they had for each other. I thought it would have resonated a lot, even stronger when they got out of the world because y'all just survived all
lived.
this shit.
Y'all was really
Only
living
for
in
y'all
here.
to go back into another fucking game. Not necessarily the elf world or whatever.
Right.
They couldn't. I liked it. They couldn't be killed in it, but it was repetitive. Like
it's like, why are we here?
the gun gale little arc that they had, pointless.
I'll take Overlord over a sword art.
Me too. And then like even that last battle, like that whole last battle, we waited 2 seasons for this man to wake back up.
Why?
Then on top of that, when they got into the real world, the fact that you let this man stab you, like, bro, you just was fighting, flipping, kicking with swords.
You dual wielding swords,
and you got stabbed by a knife in real life,
chop. Where were your skills,
bro? Even in anime
Nigga
world,
worth
You didn't play a
that
game because
doesn't
you didn't
make
have
sense.
skills.
It
Nigga
doesn't make
worthless.
sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
And like I said, story, being a game
Guns
creator, an RPG game creator, story is very vital.
it's
to
very
me.
vital.
Very vital.
If your story got me scratching my head by the second episode, and by your final season, I'm like, what was the reason?
You know, it's so I said I was gonna close this out, but it's so you're making very interesting points and very valid points because not only in story, I think that's why I delve into like the anime music and things like that. Like these stories, the one thing that I love about Attack on Titan, outside of the story, outside of the animation, was the music evokes emotion.
Music.
It evokes
right
so much
thing at the
emotion,
right
and
time.
then
Oh my!
I don't even necessarily watch. I don't necessarily watch like dubbed anime like that, but I will watch Attack on Titan because even the dubbed emotion, like the voice acting in the
you
dub,
hear it.
You can hear that
Chef's
shit.
kiss, like
Those last
so
two
good.
episodes when Hanj was doing her closing. Oh my God, that music! I literally play it when I'm working on my stuff.
Like
if I need an emotional scene, I'm playing that.
Like
music.
all that's like story. When you're writing the story, you have to be very in depth about that shit. The music has to be able to evoke emotion, and again, even the voice acting has to be able to, like, even if you don't have any music on
she
track,
didn't even realize she died.
has to evoke emotion. I watch sub because you feel that shit in Japanese. You may not know what the fuck they saying, but you feel that shit.
That would be screaming.
Some
I'm
of the
screaming
shit
with
that they
you.
put out on in English be just so one note. You got the same 3 people doing 30 different anime.
I'm sorry, Orihime is that for me.
No, seriously. She's one note. I ain't gonna hold you. But we're done with that rant. Cause I go all day with that shit. We're actually gonna have a whole episode about what's just wrong with the anime world and the manga world now compared, because we know it was like a big shift.
It was
after 2020.
It was a weird big shift.
A weird big shift that happened in after 2020.
The focus
obviously because of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna finally go into the main topic real quick. It's gonna be a kind of short one. So a lot of people, I'll say it like this. There are a lot of people that, you know, I guess going into the topic and going back into what we were just talking about, coming into 2020, there has been a huge shift in like not only how anime and things like that are watched, but like the community itself. Genuinely, and this is just my opinion, I think that, and then there's nothing wrong with that. I do like the fact that we do get new people coming into the community, but I think that people were just like bored and had nothing to watch on Netflix and then just went down a whole anime hole or DC hole, or, you know, they just found out that they actually really liked that shit.
Yeah, COVID really
amplified it. And I think that in turn that kind of like pushed fan services like Demon Slayer, because like now they got a huge, I don't think personally that Demon Slayer would have as big of a following prior to this shift, in my opinion, because I've seen way better anime.
This is how we know Demon Slayer is fan service. I took somebody, again, like I said, who never watched anime, didn't watch Demon Slayer, to see the recent Demon Slayer movie, and they thought it was top tier. They were totally
so now that goes into my other statement, because I'm not gonna bring up the dude's name. No, I'm not saying it like that, because like
I just realized the conversation.
I fucks with him, but like we got this influx of people that just think that like they've watched anime, I don't know, 4 or 5 years prior, that they can, to me, that their opinion is valid. I'm just gonna speak like that.
Baby, you just joined anime. I was born with anime.
You just got warm to this shit. Like,
you still got milk behind your ears.
I know about Cyborg 000, a.m. waking up out my sleep to Sailor Moon transforming.
Inuyasha, all of them.
I've been waking up to, again, Inuyasha's ending song playing over and over again.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Toonami, what? Yes, we watched Toonami, but I was before Toonami. Gundam, all of that shit. Like, and it's not the same. And if you were in that space, cool, right?
Yeah. You can develop different tastes.
So
understand.
many opinionated people.
They get you thinking they're full,
yeah, because
they watching the current mainstream.
It don't work like that.
It's there's a nostalgia behind it, all of that shit. But that's not necessarily what I was really talking about. But even with all of that, they are all part of a community called the Blerd community, which is literally just that, is a community full of Black people of color and nerds that like everything nerd. Like, I'm going to give you a real quick definition for those that
I was already ahead of you.
So this is Blerd 101, composed of Afrofuturism, diversity, inclusion, and representation. Blerd is simply shorthand for Black and nerd, and it describes people of color who enjoy nerdy and geek-related things regardless of gender, skin tones, and sexuality. Black nerd culture rejects the grotesque menagerie of racist stereotypes, as well as compensatory images of Black and cool, by insisting on full and sometimes messy exercises of human agency. It gives license to be Black and awkward, Black and brainy, and Black and free. So, with that being said, I guess I would say, just like in any Black community, there are some biases that kind of happen. And I was going to actually like put this in as a part 2 for when Zay and Guns get here.
But things got juicy.
Well, I just feel like I really want to touch base on this since we're on it a little bit. And I just call this topic within the Blerd community the Killmonger effect.
Did you laugh? Hold on. One.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
So, in other breaking news, we just found out, right, that Joe Biden has dropped out as president elect. But guess who is taking his place?
A black woman.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I saw that coming.
I'm kind of.
I'm scared. She might not win this.
I mean, but I'm up in arms with it.
I'm up in arms. I don't see.
I'm for it.
They just flipped out about Obama being there. You think they're gonna let another one in there, and then a woman at that?
Listen, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something that a lot of people may feel a way about, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I think it's very true. Where's y'all fight? No shade. Like, I know that we are in a space where it's looking bad for us as a race, but where's your fight? And it's not to say that y'all don't have it or anything like that. I'm just speaking this out into the atmosphere because like that is important. Like, yes, she may not win, but
y'all gotta fight
y'all
for
fight?
it.
Yeah.
Don't let her not just win.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad
I'm
glad to hear that.
Yeah,
She
I am
getting
glad
my
to hear
support.
that.
She get my support.
But like, you gotta speak things into existence, and I had
Yeah.
to learn that. Like,
You right.
yeah,
You right.
She may not win, but being pessimistic don't help the situation either.
So
Yeah.
my only thing is, I saw Biden
No,
not.
but, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you close it out.
All right. So I'm not very political. I'm gonna just say that right now.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not very political, but the second she came in as Biden's second, I knew that when Biden finally, 'cause I didn't see Biden go long.
Not me either.
So I saw her coming up next, and I was actually rooting for her the second she came in a picture. I was like, she needs to get there. Yeah. I don't know how she gonna get there, but she needs to get there. So hearing that Biden just dropped, I'm like, all right, she gets this opportunity. She has my support.
Yeah.
Kamala, don't fuck it up, baby.
I'm gonna support her the best
Don't
way I
fuck it
can. But I'm gonna fight for her. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, but
we was gonna leave it at that. I'm sorry.
I'm just grounded.
You're good. We're good. That was definitely breaking news. Yeah. But no, so the Killmonger effect. Black representation in video games and media. That is all anime, all comics, all anything blurred, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I call this the Killmonger effect because lately I'm sorry, I'm gonna get canceled for this. There has been a lot of talk about like people feeling a way about just black representation when it comes to our style.
Really? Still?
Our hair. That's kind of how I feel, but hear me out.
No, I'm hearing you out.
Hear me out. There's been a tussle about back and forth about just like the representation about our style, our hair, the way we wear certain things. I just feel like two things can be true at the same time.
Yes.
Like you can feel a way about, or not even feel a way.
You have your perspective.
It is factual that they do kind of use the same hairstyles, the same style that we don't necessarily see, but black representation looks different for everybody. So
I'm so glad
I'm not going to sit here and say that like I haven't seen that style, and if I have not seen that style, okay, I like the hairstyle though. Like, why is that being shunned?
Yeah, I didn't know where he was going at first, but I love this conversation.
Like, why is that such a problem that we have Eddie with this one side dread?
I feel like it looks delicious on him.
I mean, it looks if it looks nice, it looks. Personally, I didn't like the high top that they was giving us all the goddamn time.
I personally hated the high top.
Because that got played out from like
I hated the cornrows.
I say from the 90s to
and they were still using that
early
shit.
2010s.
And now it's like y'all. I don't want to say that. I don't.
I have something I want to add to that one.
Go ahead, because I'm gonna gather my thoughts.
And I got something after you sit there.
So I'm gonna cheat on this conversation because I love this conversation. But coming from game development background, where I had to learn how to do 3D modeling, animation, and physics, and all that other stuff, I understand why they limit. Because when you have to model black hair and put on an engine, it's a lot. There's some physics you got to worry about it. There's the poly counts you got to worry about. So let's say your game has, let's just do it really small, 100 max polys that it can use in the engine. Let's say you got Eddie's hair. In order to get that fully detailed to the way it is, that's not low poly count. That is very high poly count, unless you cheat it. And the cheats don't always look right. That's where you get the clips, get the tears, inverts.
Okay, so I'm glad we got somebody from a game perspective.
That's great to know for sure.
Like, but then even still in like animation quality, let's say we take Jujutsu Kaisen's quality. Let's say Miguel didn't have his hat and he had braids and dreads.
I think he had bald head too. I think he had a bald head. for sure.
I think he does.
I think he has a bald
But
head.
that's also a cheat because
Yeah.
when you have to animate that quality of hair moving in every strand, this is why I personally
That makes sense. He was getting his face fucked up, and that hat was not moving.
But those animation time frames are, so let's just say me walking into this room is literally a 10-second animation, but you have to do every microsecond between that, every little detail. And depending on how you're doing that animation, if it's 2D, which most of them are 2D with CG, whatever in there, it is so minuscule, just particular. Like,
yeah, it's tedious.
it's so tedious.
Yeah,
This is why I avoid character modeling or animation of characters. That's why in my game, my bosses are stiff.
And it's not to I hear that,
but it's not to excuse it because I know it's lazy. It's lazy.
It's hearing that, like, yeah, you can say that, but hearing that, it's like, damn, it does take a lot. I wouldn't say it's lazy. I would just say where, like, you have to figure out where your dedication is.
I'm actually correct that,
right?
Because
like, if
there's
it's gonna
two
take...
games. There's two games out here that do it better. Monster Hunter World, the MMO, they do dedication to black hair. They are not lazy with it.
But that's also, like, it goes back to, like, you will see stuff like that, like you just said, in Tekken, right? But they have money backing them to support that type of shit. Little minuscule shit like that.
Guild World from ArenaNet.
Very popular game.
It got popular. It was not popular in its first game, but they got to their second game and got popular. And now they do black cultural. They did black cultural hair in their first game. They had a whole expansion based on Egypt. Yeah. Guild Wars 1 did. And that black hair was beautiful. It was not the typical. I mean, they have some typicals, but they did it stringent braids with the dreads, with mullets. It was very eccentric hair.
Love it.
And then when they came out with Guild Wars 2 and they started getting into their desert, black, whatever, African culture, they came out with it. So this is where I say, like, certain games, it's fan service. Like Eddie, they took what was known. They took the Killmonger. This is a popular style. We're going to do that. It's going to work. It's going to get attention. Versus...
Actually, because y'all got the money to give us a different
Y'all got the money. Y'all on your 8th game.
I would have been fine with Eddie's... Well, first off, again, I don't have a problem with the Killmonger look.
Right.
But if you're going to go fan service and you're intentional about it, then you might as well just gave us Eddie's normal look that he's always had with the pullback ponytail. Right? Like, we're used to that. And I know that, like, with Tekken 8, they switched up everybody's hairstyle.
Like, look at Leroy. He's a typical hairstyle too.
Yes, but it's literally Eddie's hairstyle.
True.
Leroy's hairstyle is literally Eddie's hairstyle. So then on top of that, Leroy's a newer character. Leroy came out in the last game. This is his second debut. So I think that they're trying to, like, get us used to him. Yes. And then again, it goes to fan service because Eddie's been out. So let's switch him up because we know that regardless of how we give it up for him, y'all gonna play with him.
Yeah. True. If we make him look stylish, y'all gonna play
y'all
more.
Gonna definitely.
For sure.
So and it falls on deaf ears.
And didn't you have to pay for Eddie?
Yes, you did.
So that's even more. We're gonna make him look as attractive and stylish as possible so that y'all want to buy him.
And then here's the thing, like, this is how black people work. But like they'll complain, it's like, well, I'm still gonna play him though.
Yeah. Y'all do all this hooting and hollering.
Bullshit. This is bullshit. And it's like I can't be mad at it. I just think that, like, it's not the consumer's fault. No doubt. I just think that, like, they be missing the mark when it comes to certain things like that. Cause, like, now that I'm hearing that, like, it takes so much time and money to do things like that makes sense. But Tekken, y'all got the money.
Y'all got the money.
Y'all got the money.
A lot of these corporations be having the money for it.
Y'all get us all fan service.
Y'all have the money and the time to give Eddie something different that's not mainstream.
And also the fact that it's not many black artists or people of color
Mm-hmm.
there to actually give that opinion. Because honestly, when you think, like I'm saying from my realm, when it comes to comics, you got to think it wasn't a lot of artists who really knew how to properly draw black hair.
That's true.
It haven't really been happening as of recently from like the late 2010s to now. Because when you got to think, even look when Nubia first came back, her hair looked like Wonder Woman still.
Yeah.
Like you got to look at look at Jon Stewart. He had the worst fucking fade ever. They never. It's literally like even when you look at static hair back in like the early 2000s.
My God.
it looked nice as a dress, but at the same time, it just,
And we got,
it was war.
and then we got to think about it too. Like the animation quality of Static Shock is totally different from then than what it was. So I think that at the time it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
I think that, but I do get what you're saying. It's like, get with the times. Like I will say that personally, I don't see the Killmonger hairstyle a lot. Like in person, I have not seen that.
It popped up in Acolyte.
Yeah, it did.
Like in real life though.
Yes, in the Acolyte, it did pop up.
It did.
Interesting.
I love Acolyte.
And then you got to think we just came off of Spider-Man on the Spider-Man game.
No, wait. When I say real life, I mean just like in everyday life, not in like real life show.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't see niggas with this.
I don't see nobody with that.
I don't. It's rare unless it's like a modeling situation.
I'm not gonna.
That's the problem that I have with the whole situation. I like the hairstyle, but y'all missing the mark because it's like y'all just went off of the highest paid Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. That's the first time we ever seen that fucking hairstyle.
Really, first time
ever.
And after that, it was everywhere.
Had it, and y'all, and because again, fan service, y'all know that it was a popping movie. Y'all used that and gave us this, and it's like, no, that's not really representation.
So I want to piggyback off of the whole black in the industry thing. With the conversation at hand, I also want to state that for like the gaming industry, the black population is only 4% as of 2021.
I'm already knowing.
And we are low, but when we there, we have a strong impact. Mm-hmm. And for the games or the companies that do, like I want to say way back in 2011 when I first started my whole game design at school and all this other stuff, I was actually interviewed by a recruiter from EA Games. I don't want to work for EA Games. They are very cutthroat.
I heard.
But she gave me pointers on my first trailer ever. And when she gave me those pointers, it opened up my eyes to industry as a black person or even as a black female in the industry. Because she was like, I like it. Woo, woo, woo. And then she came down to a character, my favorite character I made for my game. Mm-hmm. She had the whole vampire trench coat, the whole, whatever thong with the leggings. She was bad.
What's her name? Nocturne.
Yeah. And she had the whole fake saber style. She was very savory. But with a trench coat and woo, woo, woo. And she's like, I like her. She's bad, woo, woo, woo. But she's too revealing. And in my head at the time, being very young, out of high school, coming because her body was revealing. And I was like, I don't understand. In every game, the bad females are always revealed.
That's why I raised my eyebrow, because I'm like, why is that?
So for me,
especially comics,
comics, like that's the natural stereotype. But then as she would educate me, she's like, you can have a black female superhero, and she doesn't need to be about her body. And I was like,
true.
Okay, educated. I could take that because you're right. It's not about.
But that's the okay. Yeah, again, two things can be right at the same time.
And that's why I want to bring that up. Two things can be right at the same time. And I got that. Her perspective from being in the industry, I understood that. And that's where it took me to redesign that character. Mm-hmm. And I focused more on her story. I focused more on her action. I focused more on her character building. And I changed her a little bit. Like she's a little more clothed. It's a little transparent or whatever. But she has more armor because she asked me. She's like, why is she in combat with leather?
Catwoman do it all the time.
Listen. That's so bull. That
Nightwing do it all the time.
Two things can be right at the same time because you bullshitting like.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
So I stopped. I paused. I was like, but she's very magic based. She's not human. She has thicker skin. She has healing. She has her upper covered. She's armored here. No one's finna stab her in the coochie.
But listen, like the fact that you even had to explain that is asinine because he just said it.
Man,
he literally just said it. There's no rebuttal to that.
There is none.
And the bitch don't even have powers.
She don't.
Catwoman has no power. She is cartwheeling, and
I'll never forget they made her beat Talia hand to hand. I'll leave it at that.
So having that experience, it made me open up my eyes to how I develop my characters. So
I get that.
But no. I will never stray from, if I feel my character needs to have some sex appeal, they are going to have some sex appeal.
Stand 10 toes.
But at the same time, it's going to justify their badassness. They're sitting here with revealing clothes or limited armor. Best believe they are a strong character. Yeah. They're not going to be taken out easily. They're not going to be a one-shotter. They're not going to come in and go, hi, bye. Like, I take Lightning bullshit. As one of those. Lightning don't have no armor.
Yeah.
She eventually got armor, but she out here flipping and dodging, slicing, and I'm like,
Literally,
Wonder Woman don't got
literally,
armor.
Wonder Woman has no armor.
literally the
She's
first.
got
bracelets.
bracers.
Yeah, like I just think that that's bullshit.
Breastplate and
it's
some
another.
braces.
It's
She don't
another.
even got a breastplate.
It's another way
It was
to
a
just kind of
preference.
keep
So,
us.
and I
the
say
back
that
again.
to say that it's weird because when you're out here in the industry as a Black person, you also have to find a different way to conform.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's like, hey, I radiate up here.
Oh, but the crazy part about all of that, it's a general thing. Like when you in your career, you're gonna have to do that regardless. It sucks that you have to do that in the industry, in the gaming industry, but such is life.
You gotta water yourself down, unfortunately, just to get up there.
Dumb it down, baby.
And
it's so sad.
But once I'm up there, I'm up there.
And then the saddest part is, it's like you gotta think, like as far as like from creators aspect, we just synced the strike. We just synced all these different things that they complain. So imagine,
and mind you, that all happened. I didn't mean to cut you off, but mind you, that all happened at the same, like 2020. All that shit happened at the same time.
So it's like you gotta think. All right, we already as a people, I'm not saying it like this, but I'm just saying in the general aspect, we're already lower on the totem pole already.
Yeah.
So imagine you're getting paid pennies already. Then you're Black, so you're getting paid fractions of pennies at that because of us as a color as a whole, not because of our talent, but just because of our skin color, period. So it's like now we're already like I bet you 9 times out of 10 you look at the Black content creators, stuff like that, and you compare them to the white ones, it's the numbers is some probably will be there. We got different ones, we got different people, but at the same time, as a majority,
it's few and far.
We low. So it's like,
so to actually piggyback off on that, I'm so sorry to even
interject. Okay, go
ahead. We are low when it comes to main industry, but what I will say we excel is in the indie.
Yeah.
So
true.
Thank you. That I was
very true.
I was
waiting.
about to mention. I think it's called Black Nubian.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
I'm so proud of them.
Yes,
for stepping out because I think that like now and again in a general sense as a Black demographic,
we are conquering indie.
That you have to do. Build your own.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it.
Facts.
You gotta build your own.
You can't go join with nobody else.
That time that it takes. Pressure builds diamonds. So you take your time and all that shit. So like, yes, it may be tedious to get them hairstyles the way that you want.
Take your time.
And all of this shit.
It's gonna pay off.
Be worth
it. To pay all quality over quantity.
My art series that I'm doing, I focus really hard on their hairstyles because they're all Black. They're Afrocentric. So when it comes to like the first one, the Black girl I did, I had to come up with a very Afrocentric, but I wanted different. I didn't want the same curly Afro. Let me get her a curly braided Afro that go down. You don't see that.
No, you don't.
And then I'm gonna give it a different color.
And it's weird. And then it's now like even the sexist part comes in because like you're mad about the Killmonger effect because you don't see it, and then but you're not mad about this hairstyle you were just about to try that you were about to do because it looks good and it's more susceptible, I guess, to women to wear it because when we all know that Black women switch up their hair every fucking day for the most part, right? So I just wish that they were a little more open to what could be.
Yeah.
This is why I prefer indie, and indie is the way to go. So even myself, when people ask if I want to work for a company, I personally would not want to work for a company because if I work for a company, you're going to restrict and stifle me.
Yep.
Not only get, like you said, paid pennies on the dollar.
Pay pennies on the dollar.
And they're going to lowball you, and that's why you got to sit there and think. Even when you look at like Marvel, like DC and Marvel as a whole, it's people who like the Kirbys. They just like they just win something against DC as far as like rights. But then at the same time, you got to think back then, they was just work for hire.
Yeah.
And it's like now we're basically benefiting off your product decades later and making so much money off of it, and y'all are not getting anything. They already did Jack Kirby and them dirty already.
I think that the good part about all of this, again, I'm speaking general, but like while the popularity, that's the word I'm looking for, while the popularity when it comes to like, let's say Tyler Perry Studios and things like that,
making
is
your
not
own
up there, he's still making his own and keeping it in the Black demographic. And I think that that's the mindset we all kind of need to have. Like you said, Fuck these mainstream industries and these production companies. Yes, they up there and they can get you there, but you got to go through so much to even fucking get a thought.
And then not even just the thought. You go through, it's like going through TSA. They finna strip you of every piece of you just to make you fit for them.
Yeah.
So you can come in with a brand new, fresh things, and they're going to pick you apart like a scarecrow.
And you got to live with that.
And you have to set, and even worse, depending on when and where you come in at, you may be stuck in that position forever, so long as you work there. And like EA games, they make games, but they are very cutthroat. You will fight for your position. You might get in 1 year. 2 years later, somebody else coming in and take your position.
It's just like yeah,
that's crazy.
It's basically like we just.
Sorry, EA, I just aired y'all out.
But no, I feel like we just need more. One, we need more of our own, and also for the big corporations, we need more of us in there as a whole.
That's so crazy because that was actually what I was going to go into the questions now, because that was what I was going to ask. Like, what do, as a Black creative, or a consumer of the gaming industry, the whole Blerd experience, what is something that you want to see personally, and what do you? Well, 3 questions. What do you want to see personally? What do you feel like is lacking, and what do you feel like needs to be taken out of the Blerd community? We'll start with the first one. What do you want to see, and what personally what do you see? Not just like in general, but like your own biasness in it. What do you want to see in the Blerd community?
In the Blerd community, I want to see more, I don't want to say intelligence, but more education on the blerdness.
I hear that.
Be more intelligent of what you are blerding. Don't just run with the masses and what's trending.
Do your
research. Do your homework. Understand what you are watching, investing in. Don't just go off of what me and whoever else are talking about. Educate yourself.
Do your research, and then like even just now with the whole Killmonger topic we were just talking about, I had no idea how much work goes into creating a Black hairstyle in any type of game, depending on where you are. And I'm sure with time comes money with all that too.
And just depending on the studio
so
too.
While you guys are being upset about something like that, rightfully so, but understand why it is done this way.
Hold on,
because this is not me pandering to white people or anything like that, or white corporations or anything like that. But like again, educate yourself so that you know how to approach these.
I'm gonna say this because I know if somebody ever saw this, they gonna say if you're skilled enough to be in the industry or the business, you're skilled enough to do it. You still have to understand, regardless of your expertise, it is still a time-consuming process. And depending on the company you are working with, you might not be given all that time. And I'm going to just segue this in here. Just like my fashion show, I've done fashion shows. I was not given the time to swap into all my outfits. I had to rush. So, and then these companies,
I want to talk to you about that outside of this too.
Ooh.
Because you already know. Go ahead.
Okay. So these companies, they do something that's called deadlines. They do crunches. And if your character was not a primary character, let's just say, look how Eddie was not in the primary release. They probably background Eddie. And you had to do everything else first before you got to Eddie. And when they got to Eddie, they told you might have a week to get Eddie done.
And
they'll make you do that. And they'll make you do crunches where you're working overnight.
That's crazy.
And that's the
that
hypothetical.
Just seems so intentional too.
It's a hypothetical situation because I know people be like, oh, well, you're an expert or, you're in this business. No, it still takes time. You have to clean up. You have to polish. And then again, with games like these where you're doing a lot of moving and physics, you see how Eddie moves? Those physics and those animation constraints are a nightmare. I did my first one where I had like a chicken crawling up the wall. That mother took me 2 weeks.
No, but that makes sense. It's like you got to already design this man standing in place. You got to redo it while he twirled on his head and kicked this miscellaneous person.
And then for every keyframe, listen, you have to go in individual keyframes, edit, move, twist, constraint.
It's a lot. So,
and that's just animating, not the modeling in itself.
So to go back, you just want people to educate themselves on how much work goes into
be knowledgeable.
Creating. Absolutely. What about you?
All right. I want people to understand it's okay to be a nerd, bro.
It is definitely
I feel like, especially in the city we in, I feel like it's a lot of people who honestly don't understand that, bro. And that's another thing. I feel like that kind of goes into the last question as well. We need more unity in the Blerd community because we are so off.
We are in our own
a lot
war.
of us, and I kind of feel like COVID kind of helped with that because it kind of ignited like, all right, it's a lot of us out there. We just not together.
Yeah.
We need more unity. It's like
that's true. Like I said, with 2020, a lot of people, like people that I know, black people that I know, or people of color that I know, that I didn't even expect to be watching anime, are watching my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
But then they come in again with these crazy opinions, like they've been watching the shit for 20 plus years, and it's like,
baby,
okay,
you just got here.
Not to discredit you, but baby, you just got here. Mm-hmm. Like we've been in the thick of this shit, and because you may have been scared, because you probably was into it all this time, and then now you probably was like, oh, I'm bored. I done watched Love and Hip Hop 3-4 times over. Let me see what this is about. Yeah. When you could have been in the mix the whole time, but you was too busy calling us weird,
childish.
And I feel like that's the saddest thing about it, because it's like, bro, it's a lot of us out of there. It's a lot of us out here. It's a lot. Like
a lot of us.
Honestly, like, and it's so crazy because I'm already knowing if it was like an actual Black Comic-Con in the city of Milwaukee, bro, it would be so many people out there, bro. So many people.
I think,
but yet we don't have that.
Milwaukee does not have a really big Black.
But we know what we need to do, though.
Yeah, we know what we need to do. And that's
what
we need, that unity, because
that's why KOTV is here.
Yes. And I feel like that's a big thing, because I know I done met so many people, bro, to where it's like I have my comic books, bro, and I look over, I see motherfuckers just combing through them, like, oh, what you got? And they end up reading like, oh, this is a good ass story. Yes, you like it. All right, here, let me put you on something else. Like, okay, and it's okay to like stuff like that, bro. You don't have to sit there and go and watch fucking all these reality TV shows. Bro.
You don't have to be
just because your friend like it, and you like. No. One thing I learned, then this is like a slight personal moment. Then I'm gonna go into the next question. I personally am not gonna answer any questions because I like what you guys are bringing. I agree with both of what you guys said. One thing I had to learn in my own little personal journey is that, like, people fear what they don't understand, and then B, like, because of that, you become complacent in the same shit. People like I feel like sometimes us as humans, we do not like to step outside of ourselves. Yep. Not even just like on what you were saying about like delving into the comics and anime and stuff like that, but just in general, like we don't too much from what I've seen. I'm just gonna speak for myself. From what I've seen, there's not too many of us that actually want to step outside of what we're used to.
Yes.
And it's a hindrance. So I do agree. Like, it's okay, y'all.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's okay, bro. Like, and I feel like, honestly, if I feel like now this is 2024. It's okay. Like, now I feel like it's the perfect fucking time for you to want to pop out and actually sit there and do, because at the end of the day, it's so much. And I feel like as a community, we could be so farther way up. I feel like the whole discussion as far as black representation,
breathe.
Yeah, I know. Black representation in games and comics and things as a whole. If we was pushed more as a unit, as a community, this wouldn't even be a discussion as like,
for sure.
I feel as a community in general, we would, if we were more open-minded to things outside of our norms, we would be more further.
People are also too, like,
creatures of habit.
Like, I think that the other thing too with this community, like, since this wave of people who came in, is that people are also very particular about what they watch too when they delve into these things. Like, again, because we've been I'm talking about the new heads. Okay. Like, I was gonna say, like, we've been in the thick of this shit. We watch every fucking thing because we've been in the thick of it, right?
Like, we know there's so much out there.
Whereas now these newbies are coming in, and again, I'm glad that y'all here, but again, open yourselves up to something more. Than you may not know how much you like from the new world. That's one of my favorite underrated, anime, right? Like, or Magi or something like that,
or like how I discovered Loki Mythical Detective or Card Capture.
Listen, all of that, like, just open yourself up to that. Like, it is okay, y'all.
It is definitely okay. It's okay not to follow the mainstream anime.
Absolutely.
Please don't follow it. Just go get your own.
Second question. was a good one. I'm gonna switch one of these. Okay, I'm finished.
Go ahead, drop
Sorry.
it. Go ahead, drop it.
Because I just read this. I'm like, damn, I should have asked this. So this is actually for a good question for you too. So this is an unpopular opinion, but because of all of this that's going on and the lack of representation, right? A lot of people feel, and this isn't even in the Blerd community, there are some black nerds that go or ride harder for Japanese or white owned IP.
Yes. Oh my.
Than they do with the black owned IP. What does that look like to you? And are we being hard on them or not enough?
Oh, you want me to go last? Cause I got
I'm a go, and then
I'll go last.
Have my mans go.
Okay.
I got a lot to say.
Oh my god.
So it's weird to answer this question just on my perspective of how I look at things. Like, I'm not gonna say that I don't see race because obviously I have to, but
I mean, that's my stance too. Like, I really don't see race, but I
have to.
I acknowledge.
I live it. We literally live it. We live it. So it's like we have to. But
I acknowledge it.
But at the same time, the problem isn't necessarily that black people or black nerds ride harder for Japanese or white owned IP. Is this that to me, black people don't take their time on quality work when it comes to stuff like that. It's like
something came to mind when you said that.
You said what?
I said something came to mind when you said that. It was an anime.
like even in like Demon Slayer, the time is taken to still grab you, grab your attention, right? With the animation, the fights and things like that. Like, there's some type of niche that they have that's going to pull you in. You can't give me the same song and dance type of story with the same song and dance type of animation, with the same typical tropes.
Yeah.
That it doesn't work. And sometimes there are some white owned or Japanese owned IPs that do the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's just that there aren't too many black owned IPs that are really good in quality. People hyped up Yusuke so much because Mappa was on it, and that shit was trash. I don't care what nobody say. That shit was trash. Story was good. Animation was trash.
I just had to do the research myself because I was looking at that too.
It was trash. Like,
I have no memory of it.
The same. It didn't resonate the same like it should have. It didn't resonate like it should have versus hopefully this new Assassin's Creed that's about to come out.
Oh my
with
God.
the same exact telling the same exact story. Mm-hmm. We know that shit is about to go up because of the franchise itself. I thought
it's a real story.
And it's a real again, the Yusuke story from Mappa was the same exact story.
It was just
the delivery was not the same, and Mappa produced it. So it's just like,
which is crazy.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Crazy. It's crazy.
So I don't think that that's necessarily true. I just think that, like, when it comes to like producing art, that's the problem. Like, art takes time, and y'all just be putting out shit just because it's popular, and then thinking that we as a black community supposed to just receive it because a black person did it. Yeah. No, like, we like quality work too.
Yeah.
We like shit that, like, you know what I'm
saying? Please give
me
some quality.
But
it doesn't. Go ahead. I would love to. I would love you to do.
So, do you think the reason why our quality is so low is it? I know it has to do with time.
It's resources. We don't have resources.
Is it due to the simple fact of due to us being black, our resources is low?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We're limited. It's like,
I mean, she just said it herself. Like, she had to go through leaps and bounds, and again, EN Games is strict.
We got to sit there and go through in order to sit there and make a quality product.
But this is why you don't delve in companies that's going to hinder you like that. Like, if you so hyped to be in Mappa and you don't even know that they finna strip you down of everything.
Mappa finna work you like a Hebrew slave.
And they gonna still work you.
Just like how
versus going to an indie production company that will give you all the tools and resources.
And that's not to say indies won't work.
You may not make as much money as you would think that you was gonna make in EA or whatever the case may be, but at least the art is there for you and the tools are there for you to actually put out great work. And even if it's not received the way that you want to, the right people will receive it if it's done right.
Yeah.
Even like with indie, there's still like crunch time in this worker because it's less of y'all.
Yeah.
You're going to work harder, but you're going to have the freedom to work. You're going to have the quality to work. And your work is not going to be, well, I can't say that because of what I was going to say with the anime. that kind of contradicts myself a little bit, but I don't say your quality is going to be there. But I don't know if you were done. I didn't want to just hijack.
No, go ahead.
So what I was going to go around was like how we were talking about the animes and black animes. Cannon Buster.
Oh, where is it? Is it on here?
I think it is.
The Price is Right. You didn't put it on there? Okay, that's fine.
Oh, you must.
That's exactly it.
Cannon
That's exactly
Buster.
my example.
I was so ready to support and cheer and root on for that young man, and it got canceled. And even the anime itself, it had moments.
Listen.
It had moments, but I was just like, "What are we doing?
Listen.
What are we doing here?
Listen.
What is this?"
And you're so fucking correct with that, because when Cannon Versus came out and I saw just the trailer of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was hyped for it. Like, we be hyped for stuff like that. It's just like, it's like going to a soul food restaurant. You know you about to get some cold ass soul food, and the motherfucking they giving us stale greens, pale chicken, and it's
chicken not even seasoned all the way.
But because it's soul food and you black and I'm black, I'm supposed to just take this.
To just buy it. No.
Like, no, give me like quality.
Yeah, it's bitter as hell.
Quality that you should.
So we have a lot of things fighting against us, but I don't personally feel like it's situational. I'm not gonna say it's true, but I think that like that question is very situational.
It really is, and it's real. I kind of feel like it's subjective.
Yeah, that's the one I was really looking for.
But then at the same time, I just feel like.
So I was gonna say like Cannon Buster, black made.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got Michiko. No, that was another one with black characters.
Mm-hmm.
That one I feel had more impact than Cannon Buster.
No, I agree.
And that's where we get into the discussion of, do we support black people or black creators over, the Japanese and the white creators? It does come down to quality. Like, I'm gonna root you just off the off chance that you are a black creator.
We are always gonna root for you.
I'm gonna root you, but if your quality and your delivery is not there, baby, I can't.
It is okay. Just go back to the drawing board. Like, we don't hate you for it, but
I'm gonna definitely support you to go back and try again.
Yeah,
please go back and try again. As a black creators, if you're out there, just because your music, your art, or whatever did not hit the first time, baby, take that as a lesson and a stepping stone to come back harder.
And then also don't make us feel obligated to like your stuff
because we black. Because if it's ass, it's ass. I don't care if you're green.
Baby, I'll bleach my skin.
I love you and will support you because you're black. But if it's ass, it's ass.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, and I'm gonna say this. Do you remember I put in the chat the Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's trash. I mean, I was interested.
First off, the fact that y'all made Harriet Tubman a fucking, that's just like when they did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. Like,
man,
why?
How do we get here?
I actually have a question about that that I want to ask you. I'm gonna say it here, but we're not gonna answer it on the thing because we're gonna actually end it out.
Okay.
But my question is, how do y'all feel about, like, it's literally going to the Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer story.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about when white creators do it? I feel like it's a mess anyway. But black creators constantly telling stories about slavery.
Yes.
And like, I know it's a touchy subject.
I'm tired of them fucking trauma stories. I don't want to see another.
Like, I do agree that like us knowing where we come from is important. I do agree with that. But do we have to have it all the time?
No.
How many times am I going to look at a slave?
Yes.
And I'm not even talking about just anime or anything like that. Like,
in general,
I'm tired of just like stories like that all the time.
Bro, it is way more shit we can sit there.
Piggybacking off of that, we got the Tyler Perry story. It's the same.
Like, even the Tyler Perry story.
It's the same. Like that.
I'm so sick of this lady getting divorced and finding another man.
I'm so tired of her getting divorced.
Job threatening her and
I'm tired of her getting beat between the washer and the dryer.
Tired of us being broke. Not be able to pay our
coming
bills.
From the hood. Ooh, this is why I had a problem with certain black superheroes. How many times we finna come from the poor Bronx with nothing? Yeah. How many times we're gonna have guns that our main weapon and power? How many times are we gonna be
double-edged sword though? Because that's representation.
It's representation. It's our story.
It's such a. But it's like, damn. Can we? Even if it's not even realistic, can we get a story that just uplifts us?
We have so many stories that people don't know or touch on. And if you are in a fantasy setting, you
said, oh, that's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why Black Panther was so important.
I missed
that. That is why Black Panther is so important.
Yes.
Just period.
Because even when they branched off and they did other stories, it still touched on that. Because Black Panther and the Crew, I was so pissed they canceled that.
Yeah.
Because basically, Black Panther, Storm, Luke Cage, and
we deep as hell.
Came deep as hell in the hood. It was like, yo, we gonna fix.
We changing all this shit.
They was like, we changing all this.
Do you think even okay? So, I want to ask this question, but I just feel like I'm going to get canceled. Just like yeah, okay.
Hold on before you answer the question.
I guess to that, like, do you feel like that was even intentional? Yes, we know that he passed away from his complication, but
Crew was done before that happened. It was literally.
But we talk about all the time how you can recast and do they do it all the time.
They do all the time.
Other white movie.
It's a double-edged sword.
Especially if you know that that's going to be like part of the story. We're coming up. But that's part of the story. As a black community, we're coming up. That's what it sounds like.
It's a double-edged
and now all of a
sword.
sudden we don't even get that.
Like, so recasting him. Okay, Marvel was in a position where one, Chadwick was that dude. Like there's very few people in the world who is scandal free, and he was one of them. And then to go out in so many words, a hero story. Because he literally had been fighting cancer for 4 years, kept it to himself, and then his body of work during that 4 years was fucking immaculate.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? He's the only black man who's played every other famous black man, including a light-skinned black man. How do you do that? Like, how do you play a light-skinned black man?
My man's was James Brown.
His whole character, his whole persona was flawless, and Marvel could not just up and replace him. It is the Hugh Jackman effect.
Yes.
Everybody after him was going to get compared. But it's also another devil advocate thing.
I know. I do that too.
His own brother said that he felt like Chadwick would want the role to move.
And that's the thing. Everybody knows Chadwick would have wanted to. Even Michael B. Jordan would have loved to have it. But they couldn't do it. Like for that second movie, you can't just throw a new person in here. We have to acknowledge the importance of Chadwick, which is why the second movie was Shuri based. It literally started off with a funeral.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but also another plan for the original script was supposed to delve into T'Challa losing time with his son.
Right. So and I get that you couldn't do that story. The good thing is Marvel in the comics did have a storyline for Shuri as Black Panther that she was for a while. So they still kind of did what you could do in the comics, but now you have to. This is why I say Comic-Con coming up is so very important, because you are now talking about your new series of movies and what's coming up, and BP3 is rumored to be something on the docket. So we could get what we supposed to, and this goes back to like how we talk about the Young Avengers, and now we got this whole new generation of people, or Secret Wars, where they're rebooting a lot of different things in a lot of different places. I'm not mad that we haven't replaced him yet, because we have entirely too many different things coming in at one time.
And the reboot is coming.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine with all that, but like, and I'm fine with everything that you're saying. My thing is like, do you think even if they release if they released Black Panther rumor or anything like that, do you think that there's an up and coming story for Black representation, the way that I was just talking about, coming in the future in all of that?
Eventually, yes.
I would say yes.
It has to be. Because the one thing about us is when we are sick of something, we will say we don't like it. I'll give you a prime example. The Color Purple brung out his remix, which is really just the musical in movie form.
Yes.
We were so highly, and we love Fantasia. We loved everybody in that movie. If they wasn't anything else, we would go out in droves and support them. But we are sick of the Color Purple. We did not like the movie. We are tired of that story. We are tired of that line. We don't want musicals. We didn't like it at all. I sat at home and watched it one day just because I've seen it all and I was bored. And I watched
feel
it.
so
and I was
seen.
and I couldn't, and like I refused to watch it again.
Ass juice.
Like
I feel so, like it was. I get what you're saying. man,
I won't watch it,
I-
but I did.
I
Like
wouldn't
the
say Color
music.
Purple was ass. Like the musical was ass. But again, we're tired.
We're
of
just
seeing
tired
of
of it,
and
they're
that-
coming out with another Roots.
dude.
Ooh.
like we get it.
Like,
We are at
we
this
get it.
We
generation.
were slaves, my nigga.
Right, like
okay.
this generation, we know we were slaves. Everybody knows slavery existed. Hell, let's keep it a buck. There's white folks that are actually now admitting, like, yeah, that shit was fucked up. Like my brother was at work one day on Juneteenth, and the white woman, like, you just got to watch my show to see what happened. but it was like, okay, it's there. We got our holiday, so now we can stop talking about slavery because this is the most we gonna get. Okay, be happy with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So can we now get better stories? Tyler Perry, he targets a certain audience because they always gonna support him. But if you want to be bigger and want to be taken serious, my guy, stop making these kind of movies.
Where's the art?
You know,
You gotta be
stop
more
making these
creative.
movies. You got this big, huge, massive studio, and you want people to come to you and grow the black art and grow the black cinema, but you're not producing
and then be mad
an example.
when your shit flops.
Yeah.
But
like
then
your
it's
last
weird.
thing, the divorce, whatever the name of that
Black
movie,
Divorce in Black or
The
some
Divorce
shit?
in Black.
it got a 0 on Rotten
Sure
Tomatoes.
did.
And I've
Ooh.
never
Sure
seen
did.
a 0
I didn't see
before.
that
I've
either.
never
I
seen
never
that
seen a
before.
zero before.
So at that point in time, I hate to say that, my guy, you might have to reevaluate what you're doing.
So I literally just watched that movie before I got here. So I watched it yesterday.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. So this is how bad it was. So don't get me wrong. I love Tyler Perry when he does the Medea movies because those get me some laughs and some giggles, and they're still the same.
And then like the
story.
fresh shit was like black, like I would say black representation, but I at least grew up on that type of shit, right?
Right.
So
The Medea
I
plays, all
hope
this
the
other
nostalgia
shit.
of it all is definitely there.
I will watch those, but when I finally watched the Divorce in Black, I literally fell asleep, and I had to rewatch it again. And when it ended, I didn't realize the movie ended. I was like, wait, that's it.
Yeah, my only issue with and I'm not
Sorry,
attacking Tyler Perry because I love what he's done for people and the community and the
Yes.
motivation of it.
Yes,
Like, we hate to admit this, but
he's giving people
Tyler,
jobs.
he's giving people's jobs, but he's also motivating people to go ahead and try their crafts. Hence for Tubi. Like, we hate and we talk about how bad some movies are, but if we sit back and we look at it, this is a great platform for people who didn't think they have a chance to do this,
Yes.
to do it. And people are experimenting, they're trying new things.
And
I
it's
could
a
go with
streaming
that. I
platform
could go
too.
with
Right.
that. I could
Like,
go with that.
yes,
It's a big
there's some
streaming
bad
platform.
movies out there, and yes, the
They're
initial,
bad, but they're learning.
yeah, they're learning, and a lot of people are just telling their story. So unfortunately, drug dealers who need a new way to wash their money is making movies
Ooh,
about
wait,
being
wait.
drug
I'm so
dealers.
glad you said that though, because you got
Well,
a lot of drug dealers who never had the opportunity to voice themselves,
Exactly.
and express, and get out there, and be creative, and do something different. And now they got Tubi and other
But
stuff.
why we gotta go through y'all trial and error?
No,
phase
but that's
with
where they
y'all?
start. They
Because
start.
we want to see it.
I'll talk.
Like,
shit.
because the
But
reason
that's
why I
where they
bring that
start,
up,
though.
because that's the reason why I bring that up is Milwaukee has a movie scene here too now, and I'm
yeah.
and I'm
Mhm,
cool
they
with a lot
do.
of people. And my homegirl
They
who
be
just
cheesy as
did
hell.
her directorial debut this past week with "Let Me Be" on Tubi. I know it's a random quick plug that just came out of nowhere.
Oh, no, it's
I
all
sat
good.
there and I watched her whole thing, and I seen where she started from going to school from this to now being an assistant producer to now being an actual director in regards to it. And even though the story was still kind of a trauma story, I know her mind. I know what project she wants to eventually get to. So maybe you do got to do these trauma
You do.
movies
So-
to get people to tune in and look, but then let your follow-up not be a trauma.
Yeah.
Let your follow-up be
Yeah.
the story of redemption. Let your follow-up be the story. I want to see a movie where a happy couple is together with kids and they're raising in there and they're trying to do things in the community,
But
and let the
see,
trauma be somebody else and you're being the some. Can we have a movie where there's a black savior saving not saving white
Wasn't it
folks, but saving
really?
other black folks?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
really good.
I'm
I
tired
agree with
of
that.
police
It was like the,
brutality in movies too.
It's on Hulu.
You know what's so funny,
It's
Doug?
got the
Shit,
girl
man,
from
because I
Scandal.
feel like even when they
It's
trickle,
something fires.
when they trickle down, they put that in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. The whole like
It's
I'm still
something
super
fires.
like,
No.
Little
Okay.
fires everywhere or something
I
like
think
that.
it's like that.
I'll talk about
It's
that
got the
off
girl
air.
from
We'll talk about that
Scandal.
off air. We'll talk about that off air.
She's basically helping white folks or something. I forgot.
Yeah, but that movie.
It's not.
Talk about
It's
the
not
Magical
that.
Negro movie.
Huh?
I ain't gonna lie, that
The what movie?
The
the
Magic.
the League of Magical.
No,
Negros.
we are not talking
Oh
about
no!
that bullshit.
No.
We're talking little. It's called
no.
Little Fires Everywhere.
Little fires.
Little
I
everywhere.
remember hearing about that.
Oh, it was
I-
good.
It was good. I don't know what
But
happened.
I wouldn't put that with that.
No,
No.
I forgot how it was already.
Because she played herself in that.
She really did.
She
Talking
played
about
herself in
Carrie.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Carrie played herself.
She played herself
Carrie, I
and
love
everything.
you, but
Like she,
Even in Scandal, she was really herself.
no, I don't mean like that. I don't mean like that. Like
No,
she
no, no.
acted herself. Like she played herself.
like she played herself in that movie.
Oh.
Show.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a
Yeah,
show or
gotcha.
movie. I forgot.
yeah. It was like that movie's like maybe 2 years old. Right?
Mm,
let's
I
wrap
forgot.
But-
but
This is a great talk. Great first episode.
Dog, I love
with-
this shit.
Great new cast members.
Dog, I love this shit.
This was really good.
I love it.
This
great
season,
episode.
I'm just gonna say this right now. This season 3 gonna be a motherfucker.
let's
Sure
go.
is.
We finna go
Sure
big or
is,
go
for
home.
We're
sure.
gonna make sure
Be
of that.
looking out for us, man. We got
Oh my
podcast episodes coming out, streaming episodes coming out, not only with just us as KOTV, but like our own streaming platform. So
Facts,
please
facts,
follow
facts.
us separately and together. We got again podcasts coming, streaming coming. We got reactions coming very, very
Facts.
soon as well. We will actually be doing a little tour on location pods as well.
And
so
we got anime 4-on-4 coming up.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I will be there
Absolutely.
cosplaying.
you're gonna be cosplaying.
We popping
Yes,
out.
I got
Okay.
Shiva.
You might see us pop up out of there.
We
as
popping
well.
out.
But this has been episode 1, season 3 of KOTV.
Let's go.
I am Buddha.
Ish.
Jules.
And we are out. Peace.
Let's go.